All right, let's talk about it, Boulder. We got to look at the next wide receiver and tight end. We're going to do them together because there's a lot more to look at when it comes to both of those. Running backs is one room that we did not see a lot of production last season for the Buffs, and that is a point of emphasis. That's why you bring in a coach like Marshall Faulk to make that happen. So let's take a look at what the room has, what it looks like going into Georgia Tech. And then we're also going to dive into the tight end room, which could have some big time surprises going forward. So let's dive into that here on the Prime Time for College Football. Thank y'all for pulling up. Your boy Jay. One of the things that kind of jumps out when you look at this running back room is there's a ton of actual potential. The Buffs had two players on the Doak Walker watch list, and Deion Hayden as well as Michael Welch, which means the national guys are going to be paying attention to them because they're on a watch list. So that means that they're players that are expected to step out. Welch being a true sophomore could be that, but you bring in a transfer like a track hawk, and that could create some interesting scenarios. So let's take a gander at it. First off, when you look at the running back room and the tight end room, right, there's been a lot of buzz around who's going to be the one that takes over, who's going to be that dude. We even seen some highlights with Simeon Price out here looking like a dog playing, but the room kind of thins itself out a little bit. You know, you lose Charlie Offerdahl, who was, a quote unquote legend there at Colorado, the local kid, has retired, due to concussions or whatnot, but I expect him to have a nice role helping coach and, working with some of the players as they're growing their game. But he was just a workhorse, man. He went out there, did his job, worked hard. That's all that matters. So from there, though, it's going to be heavy on the young backs. Deion Hayden, coming from Ohio State last season, started to get himself, acclimated. Isaiah Augusta transferring out. Colorado's going to have to now really focus on that. And the good thing is, we talked about this on the last video, that Colorado's offensive line should be one of the best that they've had, if not the best they've had since Prime has been here. And so because of that, because of the growth on the offensive line, the size, it is the third largest offensive line in college football right now. Some big boys. They should be able to move enough furniture around so these running backs can find these holes. And I think that Deion Hayden, once he comes back healthy, he's out with a hand injury. Believe he's probably going to miss the Georgia Tech game. But that allows for Michael Welch as well as Simeon Price, the transfer that came in, played some SEC ball, to be able to go in there and cause some problems. They could go in there and get some yards. Welch looked good, especially short yardage, nice and thick. I think he's going to be able to expand his role here at Colorado. And his role expansion is going to be critical in making sure that Caden Salter as well as Juju Lewis have time to throw it. You want teams to have to respect the run and not do kind of like they did last year. They sat back. They let Shador pass, but Shador was able to, he had time. He made his own time to where he could throw, if you need to throw it underneath or throw it deep. He also had major playmakers. So as of right now, Colorado's got it good because everybody's not really, they don't know who to focus on in the wide receiver room. So that's going to be spread out until someone establishes himself as that dude, that one guy, the one that you have to 100% respect. Colorado's got themselves in a very good position when it comes to there. So for me, I'm looking at, I want to see what Marshall Faulk can do with these young backs. Can he get Track Hawk going, who's fast? Kid's got some jets. And besides that, everything you've seen in Colorado, you've seen with the Buffs, especially with the videos and stuff, they're doing some good stuff. We know the defense is going to be good, and the offense is seeing some success against this really good defense. I mean, heck, looking at all the analytics reports and stuff from my favorite books, top 40 in just about every metric you need to improve in. They did that last year on defense. So these running backs have got a chance to experience it. They got a chance to see what it's like playing against these players. And I expect big things from this running back room. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in those comments. I want to hear y'all's thoughts. What do you think about with the Buffs? How do you think that they are going to do when it comes to the running back room, do you think they can produce a 1,000-yard runner? I want to hear from you all. But then you look at the tight end room. As I mentioned before, the big thing with this tight end room is they got some ballers. Atkins was very solid last year, Zach Atkins. And then, who's it? Savion Small. Savell Small. My apologies, G. He's been a name that I've been seeing and hearing floating around a lot as of late, as of someone that could come in and surprise everyone. Now, I expect Atkins to be your starter, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Small get a nice amount of run this year. Kid's got some talent, and that's really the most important thing, is if they've got the talent, they're probably going to end up getting some good run. And so for me, I'm wondering how exactly that's going to work with this pass game. As we all know, Colorado's going to be pretty good at the wide receiver room. I am very bullish on these wide receivers, like very bullish. Now I want to see what does these tight ends look like. How these tight ends will contribute. How will they create problems for the competition? How will they create problems for everybody that's going to be keeping their eyes on what Colorado's doing? That's what I'm curious to see, and I think that they have the capabilities. I like the way that this room is set up. I like the way that this room truly is built out, local talent as well as top tier talent from the portal and everything. So to me, the tight ends have a very good chance of creating some rumbles out there, really being looked at, and forcing defenses to pay attention to them. So take a gander at that. Let me know what you think. Hop in the comments. Want to hear your thoughts on the tight ends as well. We'll finish up quarterback this weekend. Georgia Tech next week. Pretty excited about that. But these are the names that I think you all should know and pay attention to. Keep your eyes open. The local beat is fantastic. They keep everybody abreast of what's going on. And I expect the Buffs to cause some problems. So let me know if there's anything in particular y'all want to see or hear about as well in the comments below. We'll chop it up with each and one of y'all soon. So keep your eyes open. Hit the like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you don't miss any of the content coming down. Catch you later.